Hello and welcome in. Today I thought I would do something to do with Star Wars, kind of. I like Star Wars. So today, please comment down below because I cannot think what the word is. But I'm going with a pre-idea before I watch the new Acolyte show. This is my thoughts on where the series is to go, what should happen in there, and then we're going to see how near I am to the actual plot of it. Now, I haven't seen too much of the. I've tried to avoid it basically, so I've not seen many trailers. I've seen one trailer, and I thought it was definitely some good talking points with it there. So I think I'll talk about that for a bit, and then I'll kind of say where I think it will go, episode by episode, and then I'll do kind of big, what would you call it? Overall, where the series is going. Sorry, and then we will watch it episode by episode to see if I'm right in any regard or if I'm completely wrong. So, number one, watching the trailer, I thought the different colours of lightsabers were quite cool. I don't know if we will end up. My hope for the series is that we will get to learn more about what the different colours of lightsabers are. I feel like I kind of know what they are, but also it would be nice to actually get them actually explained to us on screen, because I don't feel we've actually seen that before in a film. I feel like it was talked about in Clone Wars, maybe, but even though kind of not. And that's that bit. My other hope is that we get some really cool, because it is set at a period of time where the Jedi are pretty much at the height of their power. Yeah, I would say that the height of their power. However, I'm not totally sure where the timeline is. I'm a little bit hazy at the moment. Because I've heard it's obviously a prequel. Obviously set to a High Republic period, but I'm not too sure when that period is. Because if it's at the beginning of it, then we've got no idea who the Sith Lord is, or the main Sith Lord, I should say. I'll get to that in a minute. But if it's set, I'm sure I heard a rumor, wherever that was, but it was like 150 years before Phantom Menace, or about a time period. So I'm not sure if we will see people like what's his face? Not Darth Sidious. Or to be fair, we might see Darth Sidious right at when he's like a boy. Obviously not episode 1. We might see him like the back of his head on the final episode. That can be like the frozen shot, as it were. I feel that might happen, but also if it's a 150 years, that would make it way too young. So maybe, but also like maybe the fact that there might be a time jump. But if it is 150 years, probably not. Um, but once again, with all these series, it could be no for the first season, maybe two. But if it gets to say series 5, that might be the end shot. Or we might see another uh, Palpatine, as in like his father or grandfather or someone like that, maybe. Um, but his backstory would be quite cool to see a bit. Yeah, maybe. Um, but that I'm hoping we will see the trainer. But there's a Sith Lord because that person appeared on a beach. I should be solo crap up here, but I'm probably not going to do that to be fair. Maybe next time. I need to learn to edit. That's another topic. But yeah, I don't know if that's Sith Lord on that beach, and that could be Octo, by the way, from the Knights of Jedi, or the one before them. Yeah, whenever it was. That could be the same beach. It would make sense. I kind of wanted to be. That would make sense because they're all Star Wars connected to something else. So that would make sense. But also I hope that's not just by the way, that's Octo. I hope it's like talked about like why it's Octo, why the Sith chose that planet, that connection. Like I hope that's explored a bit more than everything else. Which kind of annoys me a bit about Star Wars. I know I might get some backlash for that. But they're not very good at explaining what things are. They just kind of go, oh yeah, like on Force Awakened. They're just like, oh yeah, a nuke is off. Like I don't think we ever we kind of find out where he's been and where he goes, but like not quite. Do you know what I mean? Because he goes all that way because of what happened to Ben, and I get that, and I understand why he shouted away after the attack of his nephew. But also, why did he go there? Like, he could have gone on holiday, but instead he went to a Jedi temple. Like, if he went, say, Podration, that would be different. Anyway, that was a bit off topic, I know. So yeah, that's kind of my fault. My concern is in episode 1, Yoda says, or maybe it's Mace Windu, I can't quite remember. One or what? Maybe they both said it, to be honest. But the Sith has been gone for what's the amount of time he says? Is it 100 years or is it more than that? I might check that. I'm quite sure it's 100 years, which means, which is 1,000 years. Oh, oh dear. I called myself a fan and I can't remember. Oh. Anyway, I need to find that out now because I can't remember. Can't remember now because I'm sure someone will find it before I find it. But, like, if the ship had been disappeared for 1,000 years, it may not be 1,000 years, it might be 100. Oh, crap. Anyway, then that means that the series has to happen before that time. It might be it's 100 years, I'm not sure. Or I've heard one theory that Yoda and others actually covered up, which is a whole different kind of ball game, if you like. Which brings me quite nicely onto my other point. Yoda, will he be in The Acolyte? Because he should be, because age-wise, he's been a Jedi for like 500 years at this point. So he should be in this. Now, I don't think he's a Grandmaster at this point. I might be wrong. However, where is he? How powerful is he? And also, does he cover something up? Or does another Jedi cover something up for him? Or will we simply not see him simply because there's way more Jedi in this century than we are like aware. So he's like over here doing his own like missions. Because there was going to be a Yoda movie, so I wonder if that Yoda movie kind of got cancelled to put him in this a bit. I also very much hope that's not the case, because I think I don't want to see people we already know. For one big reason, to be honest, if you put Yoda in it's too much, we all know he doesn't die in this because we see him much later. So, yeah, he can't die in it, you know. And I think that takes away some of the jeopardy, if you like. Or is he in this, but somehow his memory gets, what's the word? Affected. Makes him more into the Yoda we know. Or is it just the Yoda we know only how he is because he's so old? Like, that's never quite been explored. Like, 100%. I think people assume it's because he's old, but also maybe he gets, like, attacked, and almost dies. You know what I mean? That could be quite a interesting, like, thing. What else? Yeah, and I think Star Wars in general, sorry, to do that. Star Wars in general needs to very much make up their mind, if you like, between this whole Sith thing. Who is a Sith? Almost what is a Sith? Because I know when Force Awakens came out, and they were like, right, no one's a Sith. They're all like some other, I don't know what the words are, like darker, then there's no Sith anymore, then it's kind of, I don't even know what words they use. They're not Sith, and then it's dark, kind of. And then I still haven't seen episode 9, you know, which is a whole different conversation. But I've seen a clip of episode 9, and with the Emperor, who's got a whole army, whole city of dark side like users. So I'm a bit like confused, if you like, between the whole World War II versus the Empire. Which I know kind of got discussed a bit when it was got discussed in the Rebels series a bit of all the sisters and brothers of the Sith, like order, if you like. They weren't actually Sith. They weren't dark side users. But you see what I mean? It gets a bit. It's a bit dicey with canon. And it's a bit like you kind of have to roll with it, but it's I guess for me, I would have liked more of a scene with Palpatine and someone, and to be fair, anyone, like his advisor, it's a throwaway comment, to be honest, of him going, right, I've decided to get rid of the Wolves too. Do you know what I mean? Rather than what happens is like, because apparently even episode 1 is a bit dicey me, because actually Darth Sidious and Darth Plagueis, who I'll get back onto in a minute. Darth Plagueis was still alive in episode 1. To my from what I understand, and he dies kind of right at the end, or like midway through at the end, which means the Darth Maul wasn't actually a Sith. He was a Sith assassin, so he actually wasn't trained that well. Whereas Count Dooku was a Sith, apart from, again, he broke it in, and they didn't quite break it in, Clone Wars. But they're very, I don't know what the words are. But I suppose that's very much like the Sith Order anyway, and they kind of use people to do a job and then killing them off, or just let them go. Because of course Vengeance was another assassin. So it's all a little bit dicey. But yeah, I think I want one or two like throwaway lines. That would just make it so much better. And yeah, Darth Plagueis. Now, I'm a bit confused with the Darth Plagueis, a bit, because he's obviously the master to Darth Sidious. So I don't know if he will be this as the main Sith Dark Lord, or if it will be someone else to begin with, but then he very quickly rises up. Because let me just remember. Because he's actually sorry. I don't know if it's canon anymore. I'm still a bit confused about that. But he was always part of a banking clan because he was a what's the name of the species? Yeah, I can't say it. Mead, I think it was. So yeah, but it would be interesting to see, because in my head I've always pictured him as being pretty powerful, because he was like starting to do some quite weird stuff, like he made Anakin, yeah, I don't really know how that comes about. But hopefully we get to actually see that. See, I'm hoping it's Acolyte show will be a little bit more centered around the dark side, and I'm hoping we will see it from that side, because I feel like we've almost seen too much of the Jedi Order. Where it'd be great to see it from the other side. But I feel like we won't quite see that, simply because the dark side almost is mysterious. To begin with. So I don't think we will. But also it'd be nice to see that. But episode by episode, I hope it's more of a I hope it's a bit more like Ahsoka, where it's a bit more of a sort of mystery vibe to it. So from the trailer, it looks like I can't even remember, but it looks a bit like the Jedi are sent on a kind of mystery because they're missing Jedi or like something like that. With obviously the Sith are doing something. So yeah, they're sent on a mystery basically, and I quite like that. Because who doesn't like a mystery for one? And for two, it's a different tack than just having good guys, bad guys, some people in between, but mainly it's about this. It's about Star Wars. I get that, but with any war, it's not as simple as bad guys that fight good guys. Like but there's way more to it than that, and I don't think that's always picked up on in a series. Like which is a whole different topic really, but I think nowadays it's very difficult to find a show that is very I don't know what you'd query, like character driven. Nowadays, people care more for the actual visual effects and like that kind of thing, and that's okay. But like, I want to see like the Jedi like fall, the Sith rise because of some like weird internal rule, like how the Jedi fell. They basically fell because of the fact that they had served the government, and then the government came corrupt. So the Jedi Order was painted as the bad guys, and that's such good storytelling. But I'm not sure if it's always done quite right. Like in my mind, I think so much of it was kind of not quite spoken about. Or maybe this is where people will hate me so much, but I know people like the original movies, but also I really like the prequels because I just thought they were a bit more about politics. The Clone Wars was insane about politics. Went into it really quite in depth. Okay, some of the episodes in the Clone Wars were a bit too. They were a bit too children friendly. I thought, like the first episode, or one of them, you had what's it called? Oh my word, my brain's gone. Obi-Wan Kenobi, sorry. Good old Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, having a cup of tea with their enemy. And I get that. I always want to see more of that. But at the same time, not more. I think more as in, it would be quite nice to see a show, and maybe the Acolyte will show it a bit more, where Jedi are, well, peacekeepers, but without swords. What's the word? Mediators, that's it. And as I say, I quite like that, but also, it wasn't quite done right. But it's arguably a children's show, I get that. But yeah, I kind of want to see Jedi where there's a bit more, not quite so much fighting, but a bit more grounded. Because they were there to keep the peace. But then they turn into soldiers, which as I say, is quite epic, because actually that's their downfall. You know, they're not particularly meant to fight. Them Jedi are meant to have a greater understanding of the world and be quite impartial to things. But then they return to soldiers, and that wasn't that helpful, basically. They almost cared too much, so they end up fighting, and yeah. But yeah, going back to the show, it's quite nice to see some going back to the trainer, so it's quite nice to see some Jedi in the quite fancy ruby, is that a word? Robes, rather than like Anakin's like battle armor almost. Like, and they're not so like raggedy like Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're sort of a bit more proper, a bit more serialty. See, yeah, I think that's it. But I will leave you with one final idea. Something that I would love for you to do the old commenty thing on. What period would you say the Jedi were wouldn't you want to come up against in a fight? Because you've got the Acolyte, which seems to be a little bit more where the Jedi are. There's more of them in number, but maybe they're not as well trained in battle. Whereas when we see them in, say, the Clone Wars, they're proper Jedi's. So there's the final thought for you. What period are the Jedi at their most powerful, do you think? Be interesting to see. And then maybe that's time I'll do one. I'll see what people think. That'd be really good. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is watch the episode 1 at some point. Probably not today, but at some point. And then I will do my review on that episode, basically. To see if any of what I've said has come true. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Enjoy, and remember, the force will be with you. Always.